I'm not doing a meal prep video again this weekend because I'm out and about today before work. Leo was off yesterday so he can cook stuff, and yeah, it's just one of those weekends where it's just wasn't going to work, so I've not bothered. So instead I thought I would do a vlog and take you with me today, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. And also, just to show, look, we've got sun in Scotland. Check it out. I really should get the sunscreen out because damn. As with every other morning, first things first, I need a cup of tea. At the moment I am drinking, let me get this out, Singapore breakfast from T2. It has got green tea, black tea, I think it's a pu'er in this one, and it's also got coconut and pandan, and it is amazing. So good. I've been looking for this tea for ages because they didn't have it in the Glasgow one for so long, and then magically it appeared, which makes me very happy. So yeah, I'm going to brew that. And also, while the kettle has just boiled, I'm going to make something quick to take with me to work for dinner. Now the problem with work at the moment is that it is kind of muggy in Scotland. So I need to make things that are cold, that don't go weird when they're cold. You know, like rice does and stuff like that. So I am doing instant noodles today because, you know, why not? So there's a lot of things that just don't work when they're cold. So it's just, I can't face anything warm right now because with all the refrigeration units and everything in the place, it just is it's like an oven in there. It's like a whole new level of like sweaty and nasty. So yeah, instant noodles to the rescue. So by the time that's brewed and I put milk in it and I've like taken it through to the other room, this will be ready, and then I'll do something a bit special with all these extra bits that have come with it. After all that cooking, breakfast is needed because now I'm hungry and I don't want to kind of go out without anything in my stomach. So that's my noodles all cooled down. I'll pop them in there. Yep. And on top of that I've got some raw mushrooms. I really like more raw mushrooms, so yeah, some of that. A little bit of tomato. This kind of gives it the like fresh salady type side. And a little bit of cucumber. There we go. And as it's satay flavoured noodles, I'm going to put some salty peanuts on top. So there we go. That will keep cold and it'll be quite nice and refreshing with the salad on top for work when it gets all horrible and sweaty in there. But yeah, there is lunch ready to go. So I'm going to get packing and get some kind of fun home bits done, like some washing and all of that jazz, and then we can head out. Right, I've done the clothes washing, I've done the washing up, I've got my lunch ready. Now I'm just going to make myself some tea to take with me. Normally I would just use my scooter to get into town, into work, but I'm going a bit further into town and it's a bit of a hike. So what I'm going to do is use this excuse to take the bus, which hopefully won't be rammed with tourists, because it has been recently and it's just been an absolute nightmare. So I'm going to take the bus, make myself a cup of tea to go with it, but I'll also take my scooter with me so that I can then get about a bit easier when I'm actually in town. So let's make some tea first. There we go. Now with this, obviously, like, I've got the cardboard cover, which you can kind of see on it. But what I've also done, just to kind of upcycle things, I've got a pair of gloves. So they're just kind of fingerless glove things here, but I never wear them. So what I do is I turn them kind of half inside out like that and use it as a mug cozy. So then that way I'm not having to buy more things, I'm reusing what I've got, and yeah, it keeps my hands from getting burnt and it keeps my tea warm. So there is that. I'm going to put that to one side to brew away. So to go in here, I've got my lunch that I made, which is now cool and all wrapped up. So that gives me a napkin if I need it. I've got a bag, so I'm planning on going for lunch at the Forest Cafe, and they have a free bread kind of section, so if they've got a nice loaf I might pick that up. Bottle of water, just fit that in there, and I've already got in here my book and my wallet, so those can go in there. Get that all zipped up. Make sure I've got my keys with me, which I do, and yeah, just wait for that to brew and I will be good to go and grab a bus. I'm taking a different route into town today. This kind of goes past the botanical gardens. It also gets to show you that there are some huge green spaces smack in the middle of town, and also it shows you just what it's like trying to get through like the main bit of town when it is tourist season. Like, they're just starting to show up now because the festival starts in about 2 weeks, so while this isn't too bad, you can see like from the beginning of that little bit that people just walk at you and there's just swarms of people. You end up just walking in the road. But this is why I was coming into town early today. I've done no photos because of the sign, but it didn't take as long as I thought it would, so I'm gonna go get some lunch from the Himalaya. Now again, this shows you what it's like with all the foreign students and all of the tourists at the moment. They just swarm, especially around Greyfriars Bobby, and insist on rubbing his nose. Apparently it's lucky. It's not. Leave the poor dog alone. But yeah, it just gets insane. But there are little pockets that if you're local, you know where to go, and you can get a little bit of peace and quiet and calm, and you can walk down the road without having to walk in the street. So this was the lunch I had. It was Tibetan bread a combination of glass noodles, potatoes and black fungus. It was amazing. Oh my god, it was so tasty, but it was like carb overload, which kind of got me started for the day. But after finding out that they were black fungus, I just popped up the road to get some because I wanted to try it. I wanted to kind of have a bit of an experiment myself because it was so good. But this is me now heading to work. Unfortunately, while I did have a bit more time on my hands than I thought I would, it does run out in the end. So this is where I work. This is Affogato, which is at the west end of Princes Street in Edinburgh. So if you're ever coming to Edinburgh, come in and say hello. And this is our ice cream machine. Isn't it cool? And that's Jamie in the window. So this is the ice cream machine that I get to play with on, well, 3 days a week. Not on a daily basis, but 3 days a week. And also, because I make the cakes for it, I have my own little sign, and these are the cakes that we've got this week. So we've got a Bakewell, a salted caramel cake, a hazelnut chocolate cake, and 2 types of brownie. And this is me, really. So 2:30 until 10 o'clock at night, you will find me here scooping ice cream and serving people. And if I'm not there, it's because I'm downstairs making some cakes, which is more common in the winter than the summer because, you know.
Hello. Yes.
Jamie.
Wow.
Is it Jamie?
Yes.
And that is Jamie that I work with. So most of the time it's just me and him. At some point in the night when it's quiet and I get hungry, I will sit down and have the dinner that I prepared. Luckily we do have the fridge there, so I can pop it in there and keep it nice and cool because it has been getting so warm in that shop. And I've got some orange juice there to go with it. However, with all of like the best will in the world to try and be healthy, I just couldn't resist a slice of my own cake. That hazelnut cake is so good. Yeah, it's come out all fluffy and oh, it's just so good, that cake. But this is kind of 10 o'clock at night now, so we empty the Tonda, lock up for the night, and in the morning we'll be back to clean all that out, put fresh gelato in there, and it's all good. So while it is dark, I'm going to take my scooter home. I could take the bus, but 9 times out of 10 I beat the bus. Today I didn't. Hi.
Hi. Hello, Internet. How are you?
While I didn't beat the bus, Leo came to meet me, so that makes it all the better. And then I get to come home to not just him, but our fluffy man who is waiting at the door.